everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys the 5 things that I wish that I knew before I started my fitness journey. My name is Anna. I'm going to be posting content about fitness, gym, working out, all sorts of stuff related to lifestyle and health, some nutrition as well. So if you're interested in that type of content, be sure to subscribe. I'll be posting every Sunday and some Thursdays as well. With that being said, let's jump into the 5 things that I wish that I knew before I started my fitness journey. Number 1, you cannot outwork a bad diet. When it comes to diet, balance is key. You want to aim to have mostly foods that are more nutritious and going to give you energy, nutrients, stuff that you're going to need to see progress in the gym and also just for your health as a whole. It's good to have balance though as well. So what I do is I follow the 80-20 principle, which is that 80% of your foods are more nutritious, while 20% of those foods are less nutritious. So 80% of the time I try to eat healthy stuff like veggies, fruits, stuff with protein, different types of carbs that'll give me energy and not just always having sugar all the time. And then the other 20% of the foods I have are things like desserts, fast food, candy, chips, anything like that. While it's okay to have these occasional treats in moderation, it wouldn't be advisable to have these type of treats every single day. When you're eating a bunch of junk food, you're not going to have as much energy, and you're also not going to be getting the proper nutrition, protein, macros, and micros you need to build and to repair your muscles that you're breaking down in the gym. If you're only or mostly eating fast food and desserts, your body just is not going to feel good and you're not going to be able to build that muscle properly. So I highly recommend switching to more alternatives that will give you that energy to build muscle. Number 2, carbs are not your enemy. Carbs are your body's preferred source of energy actually, over fats and protein. So if you're not getting these carbohydrates into your diet, your body isn't going to have that preferred energy source, and basically that means you're going to probably feel more tired, you're not going to have that energy, so then when you go to do physical activity, you're not going to be able to give it your all, versus if you're getting carbs in your diet, and then you're going to be able to give it more. This is actually a really common thing across powerlifters and bodybuilders that I've seen. In my time since I've joined the gym, I've seen a lot of powerlifters and bodybuilders like eating carbs, or you'll even see them like eating like candy or something before their heavy lifts. I myself have actually tried this a few times where I've had rice cakes or sour candy from the store like in a really small quantity right before a lift. And actually my most recent deadlift PR, I had a rice cake right before and I ended up hitting a PR that day, which shocked me so much, honestly. But I was just feeling really strong, really energized, really good at myself, so I went for it and I had it. I went up from 175 pounds to 200 pounds, which is insane. It was actually 199, but we're gonna just pretend it was 200 because we're just gonna round up to 200. In terms of weight loss, carbs are not going to be your enemy. In fact, no macronutrient alone is going to be your enemy. When you're trying to lose weight, it's basically calories in, calories out. So if you're eating in a deficit, you're going to lose weight, and if you're eating in a surplus, you're going to gain weight. It doesn't matter where those calories come from, whether it be carbs, fats, or proteins. Now, where that does matter is if you're trying to build muscle, you're going to want to aim to have a lot more protein in your diet, but that doesn't mean you should eat less carbs or less fat. For your body to properly function, you need to have all your macronutrients and all your micronutrients. So something I like to focus on more so is focusing on protein, eating more like, meat. I personally prefer grilled chicken. If you like steak, bacon, different types of meat, those are also good options. I make eggs all the time with ketchup on top of them. And then also I'll make like things with peanut butter. I've had some protein shakes in the past. Some of my past ones were not that great, but more recently I've gotten some really good recipes going. So if you want to see the recipe, let me know so I can share that with you guys as well. If you're not sure exactly what macronutrients and micronutrients are, macros are your carbs, fats, and proteins, and micronutrients are all your vitamins and minerals. So if your body does not get these things, it's not going to properly function. Your body needs to get those macronutrients so that it has energy, can build and repair muscle, and so that you're able to function properly. And then you need your micronutrients because those micronutrients you're getting from, say, fruits and veggies mostly, those are going to help your body repair cells. It's going to help your cells carry out their functions to other parts of your body. If you're not getting your micronutrients in, please start incorporating more fruits and veggies into your diet. You're gonna see a huge jump in your energy levels and just in your health as a whole. I'm by no means a dietitian, and I always urge people to seek out professional help when they are planning on making major changes to their diet, or doing a new program, or prepping for a bodybuilding competition or a powerlifting competition. Whatever your goal is, if you're not sure what to do, go to a dietitian for it, get that professional help. Now, while I'm not personally a dietitian, this is personally just what works for me. It doesn't mean that it's going to work for you, but I do intuitive eating with a focus on protein, veggies, and fruits. But intuitive eating is not for everybody. Some people, tracking's the best way for them to lose, gain, maintain their weight. Number 3, form is more important than weight. We've all seen it before. Somebody goes onto the leg press, they load up like 4 to 5 plates on each side, they go to start their set, and then they have this much range of motion. Okay, so here's what you actually need to know. Your body does not know the weight that you were lifting. It does know the work that you are putting in, though, to lift that weight. So while increasing your weight is going to be one way for your body to break down the muscles and to build muscle over time, what you're actually going to want to do is have good form, have a good range of motion, and to do slow and controlled movements. Say somebody's leg pressing like 300, 400, 500 pounds, right? But if you're not moving that weight very far, you're rushing through the movement and you're moving like that much and your form is just not good, you're not building muscle doing that. You're gonna be a lot better off taking some of those plates off. I know it can be sometimes hurtful to our egos when you start lifting a heavier weight to be like, yeah, I lift so heavy now, I can lift this. But reality is, you're not gonna build muscle that way. What you're gonna wanna do is take some of those plates off, really focus on having good form, doing slow and controlled movements, perfecting that range of motion, and over time the weights will come. I'm guilty of this myself. Usually when I do RDLs, I use about 20 to 25 pounds, and that's when I'm doing good form, slow and controlled movements, and a good range of motion. Or I had that good mind to muscle connection during my workout, and the next day I can look back and be like, yeah, I worked my muscles well. However, I can also RDL with 50 pounds, but that doesn't mean that the weight I'm lifting then is gonna be as effective. Because when I do it with 50 pounds, I'm not having that mind and muscle connection. My form is usually really bad and my back is arched. I don't feel it in my hamstrings very much, and I'm just not having good time under tension as well because I'm rushing through the movement. Now, if you want to actually see progress over time, I would say for myself, for example, go back to the 20 to 25 pounds and then slowly over time add 5 pounds every week or every month, depending on how long it takes you to perfect that form, perfect that weight, perfect that range of motion. I know going down in weight can be annoying, but I promise your form is going to be so much better. Your muscles are going to grow so much more once you perfect your form. Just keep working at it. It's going to take time, but you will get there, I promise. Number 4, lifting weights will not make you bulky. You know, I wish that this one was honestly true, because after going to the gym now for 3 years and sometimes looking in the mirror and just feeling like I've made no muscle progress, I get down on myself sometimes. Like, I wish lifting weights would make you bulky after a little bit of lifting, but it just does not work that way. I wish that we could get bulky from lifting weights, but unfortunately it takes a really long time actually to build muscle, longer than some people may think. I feel like this misconception is mostly common in women that are worried that they're going to start lifting and start seeing a lot of muscle growth that they're not used to seeing on their body and that they don't want to see on their body, and that's okay. It's totally personal preference. It's totally okay to go to the gym, lift light weights just to, lose a little bit of weight, build a little bit of muscle. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But as far as getting bulky goes, that's simply not how muscle growth works, because it takes a really long time to put on muscle. In fact, usually when people think of like super muscular women that they see in bodybuilding shows and stuff like that, they're either at a very low body fat percentage that took them a very long time to get to. They either have been lifting weights for several years, and that also took a very long time for them to get to, or they're on steroids. And any of those are totally up to them. But if you're just going to the gym to lift weights, you're not taking steroids, you're not lifting super heavy, and you haven't been doing it for 5 to 10 years, you're not going to get bulky. It's all about how you go about it, and there's ways to train for each fitness goal. But if by any chance you are able to put on muscle super fast, please tell me what you're doing, because I want to be a muscle mommy. Number 5, your body needs rest days. When I first started my fitness journey, I went to Planet Fitness for my first year and a half of going to the gym. And when I went every single day. And every single day I would do full body workouts, which means I was hitting all my muscle groups 7 days a week because I thought this was the best way to build muscle. But as it turns out, that's actually very detrimental to your muscle growth. A big part of muscle growth is recovery. If your body is not able to break down, repair those muscles when you're resting because you're not giving it rest days, you're not going to be able to grow your muscles. And optimally, you want to train each muscle 2 to 3 times a week. If you train your muscles all the time and never give them a break, they're just going to get fatigued and you're not going to make as much progress. Ideally, it's a good idea to work out about 3 to 5 days a week, depending on your goals, how much time you have, and how much you want to train as well. If you're working out 3 days a week, you could probably make each of those days a full body day if you're working out every other day, because then you're at least giving yourself 1 day in between each day for those muscles to rest, and you're also still going to be able to hit each muscle group 3 days a week. If you're training 4 times a week, I would say maybe a upper-lower split may be the best thing for you, just because that way when you're going 4 days, you have upper, lower, so you're hitting each muscle 2 times a week, which is going to help you make progress in the best way possible. And then I myself personally, I work out 5 days a week. I follow a push-pull leg split, and I have rest days on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So basically this means that I'm hitting most of my muscles twice a week, but there's usually one that I only hit once a week, but it's okay because then the next week that ends up being the first thing I work. So there are other ways to do 5-day splits. 6-day splits I would only recommend for very professional athletes. It's people that are training for competitions. If you're training for a bodybuilding show, you might want to look into a 6-day-a-week schedule and maybe incorporating a day solely focused to cardio, whereas I personally just do cardio for about 5 to 10 minutes at the end of each of my training sessions. Ultimately, it just depends on your goals, how much time you have, and what you want to accomplish in the gym. So there you have it. There's 5 things that I wish that I knew during my fitness journey. I hope you found this video helpful. If you found this video to be valuable, please give it a thumbs up so I know to make more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.